Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, where art accelerates business, design drives performance, and we explore the culture of speed with athletes, business leaders, and creatives who define it. Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast. Your hosts, Nikki and Chad Strickland here.
Hey, people.
It is episode 123. For some reason, I thought we were on like 130. I don't know why, so I'm getting mixed up again.
She literally just said that on a call with some other folks that it was going to be episode 130.
Wishful thinking. But we have a really exciting guest today. We're coming at you from the running side of things. We haven't had a running guest in a while, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
Do we want to recap our pretty productive and exhausting weekend?
Well, it is Monday afternoon, a beautiful, chilly,
Very
cold, chilly day in Atlanta, but brilliant sun as Atlanta's winters are known. It was 70 degrees on Saturday, and it's 28 on Monday.
And it was like 30 to 40 yesterday.
Yeah.
Very windy.
So it's been a roller coaster weekend of rain. And then actually yesterday, beautiful day yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday
Sunday
was nice.
In the 40s, just again, brilliant sunshine. And we had because it rained Saturday, we had a pretty big day yesterday.
Big workout day.
Nikki ran a half marathon in the mountains.
I feel like I told Shelly that I feel like I'm cramming for a test for this trail race in March.
UTMB.
Like I'm cramming for a test.
We may have stumbled on, actually, Cole, our guest, I know you're listening. We have stumbled on a invention, maybe not an invention, but something that trail runners need to adopt culturally. Yes. Which is gloves.
Yes. I don't...
Running gloves.
There's so many things where I'm like, I don't feel like I've been in the running world long enough. I don't want to seem like the Fred of the running world.
Okay, so we actually explained this in our episode with Johnny Person.
Yeah.
A Fred is someone who pretends to look like a pro when they're cycling. And we decided that a runner Fred is actually called a Sam.
A Sam, yeah. So
you don't want to be a Sam.
I don't want to be a Sam, but on Sunday, my friend Shelly and I woke up at the crack of dawn. We were at Kennesaw Mountain at 6:30. Ready to run, and Kennesaw Mountain is one of the most beautiful places. I like Stone Mountain for riding, but Stone Mountain for running isn't great. I don't love just hiking. Anyone that says they can run up Stone Mountain is probably fibbing a little bit, because you can run for like a quarter of a mile, and then it basically turns into a hike. So you can't get into a good flow. So Kennesaw Mountain.
No flow. All flow. Kennesaw Mountain's
flow.
All flow. Stone Mountain.
Because you
no
don't
flow.
have to hike up. You don't have to do the Kennesaw Mountain, like actually hike up to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
There's just a massive trail system around the mountain that's still pretty rolling, so you can get that elevation. So we did that, did a half marathon, but I took quite a spill. And, anyone that runs trails, like, you fall. It's just part of it.
Well, that's why I don't understand why this isn't a thing.
Yeah, so we don't understand why, like, gloves are not more of a thing in the trail running world. Like, when I look at all these professional trail runners, none of them ever wear gloves. So
I see them busting their ass all the time.
The same.
Yeah.
Like, all the professionals, I mean, because it's inevitable. The more you trail run, the more you will fall.
Yeah.
And my right hand is like split open today.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Like her palm of
my
her
palm.
hand. Her palm, the skin is ripped off.
Yeah.
Like where you like put your palm down.
Yeah, I ate shit.
Which you do that a lot.
I put my palm down, my right palm, in an effort to push off and roll to the left. Uh-huh. So my left palm is fine. It was more of a Superman roll move.
Like you're in a crit?
Basically. But I was pretty much in like someone's backyard at this point, because there's points in Kennesaw Mountain where you're kind of running like along the fence line, but there's no fence of multiple people's yards.
Yeah.
And I laid on the ground for probably longer than I usually would have. Just like, what the F? And I was like, but I was just screaming the F word, basically.
Oh, so you weren't moaning, you're full scream?
No, I was just not screaming, but just like angry. I was just like, just
mad
like,
at yourself?
Mad at myself. Yeah, of course. Mad at myself that I had just made it through, it's not that technical, but made it through, let's say, the more technical parts. And then I had come to this open field, and I was like, oh, wow, this is so pretty. And in that split second that I took my mind off of focusing on the ground and thinking this is pretty, I fell.
So I really think like full-fingered, lightweight, like summer mountain bike gloves is the answer.
But like, tell me, Does that make me a Sam? Does that make me a Fred?
I don't think
of
so
the
because
running?
the pros aren't doing that. Or does it make it
But is it not cool? Like if I show
I
up to
don't,
UTMB in Mexico and with the gloves on at the start line, is it not going to be cool? But then I was
I
like,
wish
you know
we
what?
would have known about this idea before we recorded with our guest because I think he could have
I
weighed
think he
in
could
on
have
this.
clarified. But I don't know that he does a ton of trail running. He's more a road runner. I mean, he was cross country runner.
Cole,
but-
let's get a deep dive on running supply.
Yeah, runners out there, tell me, do you just accept your fate that you're just going to bust your hands open on every run
I don't know
that
how you can. Like, I mean, I'm not saying wear short-fingered like cycling gloves because that would look super Freddy.
Yeah,
Although I don't know if runners know this. The reason we wear gloves
is for this reason.
is it's not for hanging on to the handlebars. It's for if we crash.
Although it is in the summer when you're sweating, it is nice to have the grip.
Yeah. I mean that helps.
But Courtney Dotwaller, she has like wrist grips that go on her palms. I think mainly so she doesn't get blisters from the poles, from her trekking poles.
Yeah.
So I could just order some of those, and maybe that would make me less.
Are they
of a
like
Fred-
a product?
Yeah, it's a product. Yeah,
Huh.
so it wraps around your wrist and it just covers like from your thumb, like across the bottom of your palm.
Oh, who
Where-
makes it?
I forget the brand, but I took a screenshot of it.
Oh,
They make like they specifically make poles for like skiing, hiking, trail, and then they make gloves that go with
the pole.
yeah.
So it's not necessarily for the crashing.
I don't think it's for the crashing, but it could be dual purpose.
I'm just curious why they don't wear gloves.
But I will say when I use my poles, I fall a lot less because you catch yourself with the pole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I probably would have caught myself and not fallen if I
Oh.
had poles with me. And
Yeah.
I'm going to use the poles in Mexico, so.
Yeah. So have you ever fallen with poles?
I did at the end of the Duncan Ridge trail race.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think I was just a little delirious.
Okay, well let's evaluate that a little bit more. I do think all we need to do is get like one influential, like the King of Moab guy,
Yeah.
and him start wearing gloves.
Yeah.
And maybe they cut some holes in them, Satisfy style,
Make them
and
cool.
yeah, make them cool. Some skulls on them or something, and they'll be a thing.
Yeah, I hope so because my hands are destroyed today.
Another thing that and I know this is a follow up to our episode with Dr. Rachel, but we both were just talking about how we destroyed ourselves yesterday. And we hadn't talked about what I did, but I did the airport ride, which was sustained 20-mile-an-hour winds, 35-mile-an-hour
really
gust.
windy.
It was probably the windiest I've ridden in a long, long time. It was really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
We both were expecting to be extremely sore today,
Yeah.
and we're not.
Yeah, because we drank the ketones after.
We
We both took a shot of ketones, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Because I definitely thought I was going to be pretty sore. Like, at least my calves would be sore because I hadn't been, running hills as much. I'm
Yeah.
not sore at all.
And I know how hard I went. I was even thinking about on the ride. I'm like, first of all, I'm destroyed for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like productivity is gone because my eyeballs are going to hurt for the rest of the day. But I'm going to be so sore tomorrow, and I was like dreading it.
Yeah.
And today I'm not.
Yeah. I thought like my hip flexors felt really tight after I got done with the trail run. And I was like, oh man, I'm like my hips are going to be really sore tomorrow. And I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean, I also did like a proper recovery shake, like a first endurance.
And we
thing,
ate.
and we ate.
We had a good amount
good.
yesterday. We actually recovered the way you're supposed to.
Yeah. I definitely, they might be on something with this science thing.
I keep telling people about the post-workout ketones, and I feel like no one believes me, and that's fine. I'll have more ketones for myself.
They'll just be sore and you won't.
They'll be sore and I won't be.
I mean, what a weekend. So we did that. We finished that off with a Painted Park chicken tendies outing.
No, but on Saturday is
exactly.
what you're missing.
Right. That's what
Saturday, it was rainy, it was drizzly. I definitely could have ran, but I knew I had the big run on Sunday, so I was like, and I ran basically every other day. So I was like, whatever, I'll just take this day. And one of my goals, we haven't even done like our official goals for 2026 yet. I have a bunch on my own list. We haven't shared them with each other. One of my goals, though, is everyone knows I am a hobbyist enthusiast. And if you watch the Colbert Show, so is Taylor Swift. Was it Colbert?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is Taylor Swift. So that makes it
That
okay.
was a development over the weekend.
Yes, that was a weekend
Taylor
development.
Swift saying that
She's
she's a
also
big hobbyist.
a big hobbyist.
Yeah.
She said it's not a workaholic. It's a hobbyist enthusiast.
Because it's not like she's got a bunch of free time.
Exactly. So we all know that I'm a hobbyist enthusiast, but one of my goals this year is to try to close out more projects because
Hallelujah.
Well, I make a lot of things. Like I do finish a lot of product,
Yep.
but I would say for every 3 projects I start, I finish 1 project. So there's 2 projects kind of sitting out there in limbo. So on Saturday, I closed out, I would say, a good 50% of the unfinished projects.
Wow, this is a very self-aware thing that you're speaking to right now.
I mean, I would never. I feel like I'm a decently self-aware person.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really not that prideful. When you don't have a lot of like, ego and pride, you kind of can be more self-aware.
Yeah.
But
I thought we were going to talk about the best sandwich that I've ever had.
We are. I'm getting to that. So I do my errands, frame my pictures. You get done with the gym. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's go get lunch somewhere. It's a rainy, drizzly day, kind of moody, kind of nice.
Yeah.
And so we went to one of our staples, Staple House, our new Staples. And what did you order?
Well, I was starving.
Yeah.
Just straight from the gym, I hadn't eaten anything, which is always a mistake when you go to a place like that because you don't care. You just like, I want food.
Yeah, it's like going to the grocery
and
store hungry.
They've always had this sandwich. I think there's only 2 sandwiches, right? The grinder. It's a $23 sandwich.
It's expensive. That's an expensive.
And I'm always looking. I'm like, who buys a $23 sandwich? I have always thought that.
Yeah.
This time I was like, screw it. I'll take the grinder.
I'm so hungry. $23 sandwich come my way.
And it was the best sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Same.
I let you have a couple bites. It was incredible.
I could not believe because I was like watching you eat it. I got a salad, which to be frank, it wasn't great. I love Staple House. Everything they have is amazing that we've tried. The kale salad wasn't bad, but I wouldn't necessarily order it again.
Did you decide if they massaged the kale?
So the kale was delicate enough to eat without cutting your throat open. But it wasn't.
They could have massaged it.
They could have massaged it. I personally, like for a kale salad, I like it to be chopped up more. And this was like really big leafy pieces of kale, which it just makes it awkward. And I don't want to have to think about my food when I'm eating it. You know, I just want to eat it. And so anyways, I took a couple bites.
Hopefully they're listening and we'll get that fixed.
Yeah, I took a couple bites of your sandwich. My mind was blown. That's crazy. How good this sandwich was.
I mean, the bread
doesn't even taste like bread. It tastes like heaven.
Yeah, and then it's like Italian grinders. So it's like Italian meats, but they were all like specialty.
They had pickled vegetables on there.
Yeah, pickled vegetables, like pickled carrots.
It was one of the best things I've ever tried.
I don't know what that sauce was. I haven't stopped thinking about it since.
I want to go back. I'm like, when can I work out next and run 10 miles so I can go get that sandwich?
Yeah.
Also, we haven't tried their pizzas, and we need to try their pizzas.
Yeah, it was packed.
It was packed, and it's again. It feels.
We gotta stop talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah, don't ever go there.
We're
it's
making
terrible.
It popular.
No, but we had a good food weekend because then after I ran at Kennesaw, my little tradition, if I have time, is to finish my run, get in the car, drive 5 minutes down the street, and go to this French cafe / bakery, and it is. See, that is my singular favorite restaurant in Atlanta Metro.
Yeah, it's good.
For I'm not talking fancy dining. Obviously we can go into fancy dining, but for just a restaurant that's low cost, amazing food.
What's it called?
I can't pronounce it, which is why I never say it. It's
that's why you always say my French place in Kennesaw.
Yeah, hold on. I will try and pronounce it, but I feel the people that speak French, if you're listening, will make fun of me.
And if you're listening for the first time, I'm not going to say this isn't normal for this kind of tirade before we introduce our guests. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But I promise you we'll get to Cole in a minute.
Du Coeur de France. DOUCEUR. De Coeur.
Do we know what that means?
No.
Let's look that up.
Oh, no. So in French, it means sweetness.
Oh.
The sweetness of France.
Oh, it's funny. Like a bribe is you're sweetening. So the sweetness of France.
Douceur. I'm sure Siri's probably saying that wrong, but anyways, it is so good. So I like going in there by myself, sitting down at a nice little table, ordering the quiche of the day, which I ordered the quiche Lorraine, which wasn't the quiche of the day, but it was good, and the tomato soup, the tomato basil soup. I
feel like we've talked about this before.
It's so perfect. I can't describe how nice, and you just put your headphones in, you have jazz music on. It's just perfect. I highly recommend going there if you're in the Marietta, Kennesaw area. Okay, so we had a good food weekend. We had a good workout weekend. What else?
Golden Globes last night. The only award show we ever watched, mainly because they're all drunk.
They were hammered.
But it is literally the only one we ever watched.
Yeah. It's...
and then before we get our guest, one quick announcement was made today that we are very excited about. Olympic champion Greg Van Avermaet is now part of the Basso family.
Yes.
So more on that, more to come.
To get into our guest today, we have Cole Townsend on the podcast. And if you are in the running world, you've probably come across some of his writing or possibly the company that he works for, because it's all about running. It's all about shoes. That's the world that he lives in. So he went to Williams College and ran cross country. So he has a cross country background, incredible athlete. And he's a developer designer, and he's the head of tech at Soul Retriever. But how we actually learned about him was because his Substack called Running Supply is probably one of the most educated and well-versed, without being pretentious, running, Substacks that we've ever found. And it's he spends so much time doing research into product.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like reviewing like a race or something. He's like, he's talking about product, running clothes, running shoes. And he's also just now getting into cycling. He's a newer cyclist, but I'm sure he's insanely strong already, as most runners are when they transition to the bike. So we had a lot to chat about. It was a really good conversation.
Yeah, and we knew about Cole, I don't know how, stumbled across his Substack, but then we found out we had a mutual friend and listener and partner in Andy from Swiftwick, who actually was the one that said you should have Cole on the podcast.
Yeah,
so thank you, Andy, for doing that. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Hey, how's it going, gang?
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's I'm a fan of the pod. I'm a big like Michael Garrison fan, so I listen to his episode and like kind of follow him.
Are you in Boston, right?
Yes, I'm in Boston. I'm just like in my apartment. Finally, I've been gone for past like 3 weeks. Just like home with like holiday travel. And then before that, I went for my like full-time job. We usually do a ski trip every year, which is great. And we went to Jackson Hole, and then there was like no snow until the last 3 days we were there. But we were there for a couple of weeks. We got to hike and stuff like that. So it was still really beautiful and like nice to just like see them, because we all work remote, so we never see each other.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we have a really good friend that lives in Jackson Hole, and we were talking to him yesterday, and he was complaining about how they haven't had snow until like the last 2 days. Yeah.
It was like the last 3 days of our trip. Huge storm came in. We like canceled our flights actually to leave. Like we were supposed to leave before the storm came. We're like, we're going to leave afterwards. Like this is what we came here for.
Exactly.
That's cool.
What's the company that you work for?
My full-time job is for this company called Soul Retriever.
Cool.
It is like a sneaker media company. We cover like Jordan, Nike, like all the hyped kind of like release like lifestyle and sports led stuff. It's like not so much running. We cover a little bit of running. That's usually me doing it, if at all.
Y'all had a feature in Wall Street Journal recently.
We did. Yeah. That was purely like some random fan was like, I really like this app. And I got the email from his personal email, because he's probably like not full time for Wall Street Journal. And I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
And I just like forwarded it to my team, and I never heard about it again. And so I didn't even know we were getting the article. And Zach was like, yeah, I did an interview with the guy, and he was really nice and like kind of weird and super passionate about sneakers in the app. And then lo and behold, we get this article, and we didn't pay for it or anything. It was just like,
that is crazy.
Really random.
Nikki didn't read it, but I just happened to read. I didn't even know you worked for them, but I happened to read, because it was like, how this app changed how I buy shoes. And it was
okay.
I didn't know if you he said it like revitalized his passion for sneakers. And I was like, honestly, that's maybe the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
Like at worst, we're like really pushing the capitalist propaganda and like making the money machine go, and like at best we're like inspiring people.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean people are gonna buy shoes no matter what, so it's like you want it to be you want to inspire people to at least have a passion for why they're consuming and not just consuming mindlessly. So it's a good thing.
No, I think you're right.
So full-time, and then also you got Running Supply, which is probably another full-time job for you. As much research as you do.
I feel like people think I'm do it more full time than I do, because I appear everywhere at once. I'm just really online and very in front of my computer most days, as I am right now here. So like it's pretty flexible for work. So like I can do stuff. I went to TRE actually for Soul Retriever though, but I only got in because of Running Supply.
Huh.
Like I told him I do Running Supply, so I'm like, I'm serious. Like we're not just, a sneaker blog. Like
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about. And they were like, okay, cool.
Yeah, a lot of my running friends have recently gone into Substack. I feel like running people, for some reason, have been like slow to the Substack game.
Yeah.
Or at least in Atlanta. And so I've sent all of them your Substack and be like, start here,
thank you.
running people. So
Yeah,
good,
it's like
good feedback.
it's yeah, it's been super fun to do. It's like a nice part-time thing. Like it's purely a hobby project. And people are like, oh, do you want to like take on sponsors or anything? I'm like I would love to, but also no, because I do think I'd lose my partiality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it'd be really hard to do that.
How has it grown? Like I'm because we have two Substacks. One is kind of our corporate agency, and then the culture edit, and then the other one is for SpeedStudio. We're very niche, like in our audience, but I feel like running, you've got an opportunity to grow it pretty big. Like how's that working for you?
It's been, I mean, I started it a little like a year and a half ago from like zero. So like it did something pretty quickly. I definitely have like plateaued around like 5,000 now. But I think that just like comes and goes in waves. But it's mostly been like word of mouth because like I'm not on Instagram. I do not promote it on Instagram at all. I'm like pretty anti the whole like repost everyone's marketing reels and photos on the Instagram. Like that does really well. But I hate that. And so like I don't know, lead by example, or at least like do it the way that I want to do it. Because I don't, if I had to do this for work, I'd be 100% doing the repost stuff because I'm like, I got to grow.
Yeah.
I do feel like a little trapped in Substack, but it's like very industry heavy and it's just like people forwarding emails.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. Like if you think about like a growth model typically has to be around social. So to grow within the Substack ecosystem, even to 5,000, I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think it's nice because when you go on your Substack, again, if you're just like starting out running, I think it would be like you're just going to go to Runner's World and you're going to buy your Nikes or whatever that they tell you to buy and then you're done. But then once you get into, you're spending more time training, trying different races, all these kinds of things, you are desperately, or at least I know I was like desperately searching for either a Substack or even like I would go on Reddit just to find like non-biased reviews and recommendations. And like shoes are a hard thing to recommend to like the masses in general. So I never quite understand how like a Runner's World could just be like, buy this shoe, it's the best of 2025. But your Substack is refreshing because it's just like your opinions and experiences and not like, oh, I got paid this to promote this specific shoe.
Yeah, it's like I get sent stuff, but I've been like pretty I don't generally recommend anything I've been sent after I've been sent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I will talk about it before I even get it. And I'll be like, this is a cool thing. I think it's a good idea. And like maybe 6 months later, like I got sent this thing from Nur. It's like a fleece, but like I already bought one. I just like got a second one because I liked it so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like I try to do that as much as I can, unless it's like a big brand. And then I'm like, I'm not buying your stuff. Like you can send it to me. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what is your running shoe and gear of choice right now? I know it probably changes often.
Oh man. I've been a big Soar promoter. I think they're doing like, I don't even know what I'd call the cycling equivalent of Soar. Like Map wouldn't be doing it justice. Like Map's pretty hypey and like this stuff is good, but it's not like the price you're paying for Map is heavily on the brand. Like Soar, maybe some of that, but like they're really innovating on like materials and fabrics and stuff like that. And their CEO is like a fashion designer, like is making good running stuff. It's not like, oh, I'm making fashionable running pieces. He's just like, I'm applying my fashion process to running stuff. And he's just like in the next stratosphere.
Yeah.
Like he's looking for always like the best materials and fabrics and stuff like that. Very cycling inspired because his background was also like in cycling. So I'm like, this is what we need in the industry. So I've been wearing a lot of Soar stuff.
Okay. I'll have to try it.
If I were a cyclist coming into running, that's probably what I would go to because you'd be pretty disappointed going to a lot of other brands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk about that a lot. That's one of the things we want to talk about we feel like the cycling apparel is so much more advanced than running apparel.
It's 10 years ahead.
Yeah. If running apparel could get, like if running apparel could get to where cycling apparel is, It would be incredible. And I think we're on the way there, but it's still.
Yeah, I was like, I feel the same way where I think it's about 5 or 10 years behind cycling. And it's funny because like cycling is it's a way smaller market.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But the willingness to spend and like the average income in that market is way higher.
Yeah.
And it's like you can get away with some of the stuff because like, with a Soar or even like a Satisfy, like they selling stuff that price, they don't have a huge market anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Satisfy is
But it's
really
like
cool, but it's
doing
pricey.
Yeah, but I'm like doing that research and stuff like that. You want to be able to like sell a lot of them, and like you can't. Like I've been following I don't know how to pronounce it, Attacker or whatever, like the Australian brand. They're doing like I do like what they're doing with Orbnet. I know a lot of people are like clowning on the balaclava thing, like the cycling shiesty. But I do like the concept of Orbnet, and I'm like that is cool, like that seamless kind of like top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always thought
like,
Attacker's
we
cool.
don't have that for running.
Yeah, actually, Michael Garrison's girlfriend Shannon is an ambassador for Attacker, and she was wearing all the Orb stuff yesterday, and it looked really cool. It was the first time I've seen it in person.
Oh, okay.
It looked really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's interesting to think like runners, like we were just talking about, the willingness to pay is so much lower than cycling. And I was just thinking, I guess because cycling is such an expensive sport, you got to have a bike that costs thousands of dollars. So then you're like, well, I'm in it for that much already, so I might as well buy a $400 kit.
I also think people, like when you're in the South, like Atlanta, it's so hot here. Majority of the year when you're running, it's pretty hot. So people just don't wear that many clothes. Like especially guys, like you're pretty much not wearing a shirt.
I would only wear shorts if I was
exactly.
training in Atlanta.
Exactly.
I don't wear t-shirts to run in. Like I have running t-shirts and I like only wear them in situations where it's improper for me to be shirtless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Tokyo, you can't run without a shirt. It's like kind of a no-no.
Huh.
And so I'm like, was dying there because I was there this summer in August and I was like, I'm running in this t-shirt and it's 88 and humid at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
I was like, no one's out. Maybe I can sneak away and not wear a shirt. But I kept one on because I didn't see a single other runner out there without a shirt on.
What do they do? Like, is it self-policed though, or does like someone, like a police officer, come up to you and say, "Put a shirt on"?
Much like no, like everything in Japan, it's very like self-policing.
Yeah, it's more like respect for the culture.
I'd probably get it's like I would get a pass because I'm like foreign.
Yeah,
but like, if there was I was there with Brooks, like if there was like a Japanese like head of Brooks or whatever, like if a couple of us did it, like they might hear about it and then they'd talk to us because they'd be like, hey, like clearly your people don't know what you're supposed to be doing. And like, you're not supposed to talk on the subway and like that's that sort of thing. So like people follow the rules there and it does make it better. I will say like it does. Some of the rules I don't agree with, but I do appreciate
that's so
that, like it keeps things pretty orderly. It's nice. Like you can leave a bag out. Like there were unlocked bikes.
Wow.
Not super nice bikes, but like there was an unlocked Cinelli sitting out, and I was like, oh, not like a steel bike, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be gone in Atlanta in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's not the world we live in here.
No, and I'm like, it's cool to be like see a high trust society.
Yeah, that is really nice.
Yeah, we've never been. We want to go. We almost went this year.
Yeah, we decided to go to Mallorca instead, which is like the opposite of.
Japan. I mean,
but it's amazing cycling.
A lovely cycling trip.
Yeah, it's amazing cycling.
We have a issue with Mallorca. We always default back to Mallorca instead of going.
But the Japanese Alps are supposed to be really nice for riding, so I really want to go over there and do that.
All right.
Long climbs, but it'll be nice.
Might be a 2026 trip for sure.
What are you training for right now? Do you have anything coming up?
Right now, I am prepping for surgery, sadly. So I've been like not running very much. I tore my meniscus, and that's how I got into cycling. I didn't know I had a torn meniscus, and I was like doing a little cross training. And then I got an MRI, and they were like, "This is torn. It's not going to get better."
Oh, brutal.
Or they didn't say that. They were like, "Let's do rehab," and I did that for a year or so, and it just didn't get any better. But I got really into cycling.
Yeah,
I was running like I don't know 80, 85, 90 miles a week on the running side, which would be like probably cycling about 20 or so, 25 hours a week. And so I just like started cycling 20 hours a week, like 15 to 20. And was like, I'm just going to get one bike. That's how it always starts.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to lean into being a cyclist rather than trying to cross train. Cause like cross training, I know I'm just gonna be like chomping at the bit to get running and like be really unhappy because I'm forcing myself to do this thing rather than like, let's lean into this other sport.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so fun. There's a whole group here of guys that are like a lot of them are former other athletes. Like very few of them are former cyclists that like now just do it casually. It's all just like guys that rode or ran. And like good group of those people. And like, they're mostly just injured from a different sport and moved over and then just did not go back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little haven for like the runners in the community that get broken and then want to change a scene. And there's really good riding in Boston.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I'm not really training for anything. I have surgery in February. Then I'm like non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks.
Whew.
Wow.
And then hopefully back on the bike.
Yeah.
I would love to do some racing in the summer and the fall on the bike.
Do you ever ride with a
not gonna
guy,
race.
Michael Serpa?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we're friends with
Big
him.
Michael Serpa fan.
Yeah, we're
he's
we're
great.
good friends with him. I know him now. He's like
a good guy.
mostly in Miami a lot, but that's actually where
Yeah,
we
he's
met
like
him.
he's there for most of the winter and like down there for his restaurant stuff. But it's great getting to ride with him. Like I've done a bunch of Best Buddies rides with him, or like whenever he's around, like he'll ride with we have like a group called Bricklayers Union. That's like our I don't know 30 something year old rider group.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
It's relatively fast. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a good time. And
he's-
he'll show up for those. He sometimes goes earlier though. Like he'll do we meet
He's
at 6:30
crazy.
and he'll go at 5:30 and I'm like, brother, it is dark out.
Him and his girlfriend Maui, who I'm friends with, they literally rode. Was it last Christmas? We spent last December in Miami. They did. It was like the festive 500 challenge, but it was like the festive
It was like 1,000. I think it was 1,000.
1,000 or something. They literally would wake up at 2 a.m. and start riding at 3 a.m. and would just ride all day.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'm like, I'm not on that
like,
level
oh, no.
mentally.
Well, in Miami, it's different. Like in Miami, you can ride all day because it's flat. And
Yeah.
It's like
It's so flat.
It's a lot different than Boston or
Yeah, you can get miles in quick.
or Atlanta.
We've never have you ridden in Boston before?
No.
Yeah.
I've spent early part of my career working there, but I didn't ride when I'd go up there.
Because it's an older city, we have a lot of like narrower or like one-way roads and stuff like that, or even just like narrow two-lane roads. And there's like a million ways to get to one spot.
Yeah.
And so this cycling is really, really good as a result.
Yeah. That's kind of how Atlanta is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to go do that then when it's nice and not
Like
cold.
there's right now it's pretty miserable and it's a little too icy. I'm like coming off a cold here, as you can like kind of hear. And I really want to go ride outside. I know that would make me worse. Like I'm the king of like overtraining while sick and prolonging the illness multiple weeks. But like I miss my bike so bad because I haven't biked in like 3 weeks. And Zwift is just like, that's for fitness.
I know.
Like I need the joy of riding right now. And it's so sad, but I'm going to Spain in a couple weeks, like right before surgery. So I'm going like a little trip with my girlfriend and then meeting up with the fellas. And we're going to be in Kelp, like Alicante area.
Yeah.
And we're doing a little 4-day ride.
Yeah. So you'll be able to ride then, even before the surgery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get like 4 really good days of riding, like
That's
my last
fun.
hurrah. And then
Does your girlfriend
to
also
the
ride, or is she run or?
she runs a little bit. She's an athlete, but like she doesn't really ride. I've been trying to get her into it, and she's like, "You got to get me a bike," and I'm like, "You got to be ready to spend like $3,000."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's a big
all-
commitment.
And she's like, "Can you give me something less?" And I'm like, "Maybe," but like it's hard because she's very short.
Yeah.
Like she's 5'3" or something like that, and I'm like, it's really hard to find like used, like great deals on like a 49
That's very true.
or like a 50.
Yeah. It's really hard.
Yeah, because if you're like on eBay, it's just there's not a lot of like little bikes.
Yeah.
I might build her up a Chinese bike or something like that.
Yeah.
If she like will give me the budget to do so. I did that for my gravel bike and like it's great. It's fine. I'm not gonna win the Traca on it.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
I'm also not gonna race that either. So
I mean,
Yeah.
my first year of riding, I had like a $1,200 bike, and it was like
Yeah, you had a felt.
It was like a 9-speed, and I did all the group rides on it. Like it was totally fine.
there you go.
And then once you're like hooked, then you're like, okay, jump to the S-Works tarmac.
Yeah. She went from the
Yeah.
from the
that
Sora felt to the
Now,
S-Works tarmac.
now we don't speak of these brands because of all known reasons. But
Yeah, we have a close relationship with Basso, and they sponsor Michael and Cole, Cole Davis, and so Yeah, we try to stick to the family-owned Italian kind of brands.
They're really cool. The whole family, like mom, dad, brothers, like they all run the business still. And
That's awesome.
They're the nicest people. Like they're very heavily involved in everything because one of the sons runs marketing, the other son is the CEO, the dad's still very involved with the actual like construction.
Truly family run.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the mom's a CFO, and I'm just like, this is the coolest family, and they like. We're supposed to go visit where they live and where the factory is in the summer.
I didn't realize they were like that.
Yeah.
They don't come off as being that small.
I know. They do an amazing job with making it seem like a very large kind of production type situation. But when you buy a Basso, like they can track each bike back to exactly who made it in Italy by hand, what the temperature was when they made it, what the humidity was. It's very cool.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, it's like I think I only knew of Basso because of Michael.
Well, that's good.
Perfect.
But like that
I'm gonna make that a. We're gonna make that a commercial.
We're gonna highlight that. We're gonna clip that out.
Good to know. Well, so why not a cycling supply? Why you're riding so much? Why don't you?
It's just like a lot riding even for running.
Yeah.
And I would have to like be doing nothing else.
Yeah.
Like work and then like writing. And I do want to actually get on the bike. I also don't think I have the same background. Like I don't feel like I have enough of a background in cycling to like be an opinion on it. Like I can have an opinion, sure, but like I don't think I would value my opinion nearly as much because I'm a new rider.
Yeah.
Even though I biked in college too, which was over 10 years ago now. But like not in as serious of a way where I was like tracking everything and like obsessed with all the gear. And like now I can look at it from the lens of running, but I don't really have like the full depth of, I don't know, all the brands, like the whole landscape of cycling. Where like I would be like, oh, this is a person that's not speaking from any place of authority. Like if I were reading my stuff.
And it's very overwhelming.
So
like the cycling world is
no
to
background.
me just overwhelming.
Well, I was actually thinking, I don't know if there would be enough content on the cycling side. Like if there's enough gear, I guess I guess if you include the bikes, wheels, components, there is.
Yeah,
apparel wise,
apparel
wise,
it's a little slower.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little slower because like there aren't as many like new brands just like hopping into the space every other day, or if they are, they're not like. It's like a coffee ride brand, you know, like not like super technical stuff, which is what's more exciting to me. Like I don't know, Angry Pablo. Maybe you guys have heard of it.
Yeah,
Maybe you
yeah.
We actually
like,
met him.
Cute brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like cute brand. It's like a cafe brand. It's
Yeah.
not like they're like innovating on like materials and stuff like that. Like I'm sure they work hard on making everything, and like I like it. But like am I going to cover that every week? It's kind of like a lot of the same, and the same stuff is kind of happening now for running, where it's like you get a new brand, like they need to make it harder they need to raise the barrier of entry to like ordering shit from China.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's true.
Like we gotta cut off, we gotta make tariffs more expensive for those people.
Yeah.
But only them.
Well, it's funny you bring up Angry Pablo. We met the founder at a cafe in Mallorca, this small little town. He just rolled up and sat down. He knew one of our friends.
Yeah.
And sat down, and they were all wearing Angry Pablo. We'd never even seen it before.
We're
like,
it
what
was
is this
like
brand?
We thought it was like a team. Like we're like, oh, maybe it's like a local team, because they're matching and everything. And he's like, oh no, it's my brand. He's Irish. Yeah, it was Irish. And
it's so funny.
Yeah, he raced on the track for like the national team. And then I guess, I don't know what exactly landed him in his girlfriend's from Mallorca, so I think maybe that's why, part of the reason he's there.
Yeah.
But I guess he just started it as like kind of a fun side thing, and it's turned into a little bit more than that. But
yeah, I think they're into running gear too. Don't they?
Have they've done some running gear as well. Like I actually liked their. I didn't buy a pair. They sold out. Their half tights like looked pretty good.
Yeah.
For a cycling brand making running stuff, like no one has done a good job yet.
No.
Like the Panorama stuff, people have not talked about it enough about how bad it is.
Yeah, I agree.
The fit is horrible and it looks terrible.
The same.
I just don't understand the weird expressions.
The slogan.
The slogans.
I don't. It doesn't translate.
I feel like it's like very European to do like the slogans now, and I'm like, in America, this was chuggy 10 years ago, and like now it's
exactly.
Now it's worse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Road to nowhere on your shirt.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, come on, man. I was like, it could be good.
I know.
And like they partnered with Solomon. So I was like, oh, maybe Solomon will save them. And it's like, no, Solomon's just making the packs for them.
Yeah.
Or like the shoes. Like the Panormal Solomon shoes look cool. And I'm
Yeah.
like, great, we got the color palette from like the Panormal designers applied to Solomon shoes.
Yeah.
That's a win. Like stick with that. Either do a collab and just like stick with that and let them make the gear, or like actually do it.
One of the things I wanted to ask, that we talk about this all the time. So in cycling, custom apparel is like a big deal. Like that's a big market in cycling. In our area in Atlanta in particular, like most people are wearing custom, a kit, right? Like a team
Like
kit,
team kit.
team
Yeah,
kit,
team
or
kit.
et cetera. It's same thing in Miami. I don't know if it's like that in Boston, but it's just a big part of like cycling culture. Why doesn't that translate over to the running side? Like you never see run clubs with like matching kits. What's your take on it?
I think for cycling, I think that those people you're seeing are like not, so like people are going to run club and like they care about like personal style and like have disposable income. So if they started cycling, they'd be wearing a lot of whatever you see on Instagram, right? So like if you just started cycling, what are you going to be wearing? Like you'll probably be wearing like Map or like Attacker or like
Yeah.
whatever's popping up in your ads. And like luckily some of that stuff's like generally good. Like on the running side, like a lot of it's not, that you're seeing on ads is like not that good, which is a bummer. But like you'd probably be seen in like Bandit or something like that. And like luckily Bandit is good.
Yeah.
Like they have a good designer. And so I think that's why, because like they're not coming from a competition side. So it's like not really it's not signaling anything if they don't have like a team kit to wear where they're like, I'm fast, right?
Yeah.
Like in cycling, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like look good, but like also being fast matters.
Yeah.
Like no one's talking about their 5K or mile time really at run. Like yes, but like less so. It's like more of a social thing. Like if you went to a cafe ride and you're like, what's your FTP? Like they'd be like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like you show up in full team kit to like the cafe ride and everyone else is like wearing, baggier jerseys or like, Map and Panorama or like whatever, like the influencer brands, which like I've been influenced. Like I have plenty of that stuff. Like I also have a team kit. I just like don't wear it all the time because I don't always want to be like, feel like I have to represent my team.
Yeah.
But that's more of a personal thing for like my team's also like a club. Like it's not really a racing team. So the people on real racing teams, like they wear to our group rides, like they wear their team kit all the time.
Yeah.
Unless it's like frigid and then they're bundled.
Yeah.
That's
like they'll
kind
wear
of
their skin suits or whatever.
That's kind of like what we've talked about because I like the run club that I traditionally run with is huge now. It's like hundreds of people at every run. So I don't go to some of the bigger stuff anymore, but we have this like little like offshoot of that original run club where there's about like 10 of us that consistently run together. And I think it's like, to your point, a lot of people aren't coming from like a team racing, like they didn't do cross country necessarily in college, or they didn't come from like a different sport like soccer or something. And so they don't have like the appreciation for, or I should say they don't care about like the symbolism of what wearing matching kits means.
Yeah.
Because like you saw us running. So it's like me and like basically
I see him running in his pack. I'm like, how cool would it be if you all
if
wear
we're
the
all
same
matching.
kit?
And I was like, I agree,
Yeah,
it would
it'd be
be
awesome.
cool, but like it's not even in like kind of the
They're not even thinking about it.
yeah, it's just like, oh, I threw on what my favorite, shirt is today or my favorite shoes, and that's about as far as it like gets.
Like imagine if one of the rides, I mean, I don't know what it's like in like Atlanta, Miami, but like in Boston, we have like some bigger group rides. And like imagine if that group ride was all wearing the same team kit,
Yeah.
which would be cool. But also if you guys do anything wrong,
Yeah.
like it's coming back to the team.
It's so true.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's coming right back to the team. And the same thing goes for like running clubs. Like they've gotten in trouble in New York a lot of the time because they're like, oh, XYZ run club is running 4 abreast. And like we're obnoxious on the West Side Highway because there's like 2 places to run in New York, unfortunately.
Yep.
It's like that's how you get like a bad rep as well.
Yeah.
It's like you don't exactly want everyone wearing your stuff because then you get a few bad actors. But like if you're like on a random group ride or whatever, it's nice. Like I wish I had that. And like usually I'm playing the name game. Like if I go to any run in another city where it's like with a slightly more competitive group, like with a kind of like a team rather than like a run club, like I wish they had their like college stuff or their team stuff on, because then I know like, oh, you ran for this team, like do you know so and so? And I appreciate that, like on the cycling side, like
Yeah.
being like, oh yeah, they run for West Hill Shop, or they run for like they ride for Green Line Velo or whatever. Those are my local teams.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very familiar with that. We have like 50 members in our club, and we're very selective for that very reason, because it's got our brand on everyone's back. And I've been part of groups a long time ago where we had 200 people and anyone could join, and then I was a sponsor, and then I'd literally get calls at our office about someone like flicking someone off, and they've got our brand on their back, and like that's,
I know people ask us all the time. They're like, "Why don't you sell like the kits that Michael Garrison is racing in to like the average person? You could make so much more money." And we're like, "But what if that person buys the kit and then they get out, they're riding and they punch someone because they like are road raging or something, and then that comes back to like, oh, the Michael Garrison SpeedStudio program has people out there acting crazy."
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing to like try and police a little bit, because it does come back
like
to
brands get like, in if you apply that even just like to regular brands, right? Like on got kind of a rep for being like an airport dad shoe, and like same with like Tracksmith became like a 4-year-old airport dad brand. And it's like you can't really control who's buying it.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Satisfy. It's like Satisfy. Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, same thing with like Rafa. Like we always use Rafa as an example. Like that has become, in our opinion, a not cool brand for that very reason. I think they have a new CEO, and I think they're doing good work now to try and revitalize that.
Now they've come the other way around, where like they're not really a cool brand, but it doesn't mean anything if you wear it.
Yeah.
Versus like for a while it meant something if you wore it, and then for a while it meant something bad if you wore it. Like it meant like you didn't know what you were doing.
Yep.
And then now I feel like if you wear it, it doesn't actually mean anything. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really like, it's funny because Tracksmith is, I personally like, I really like Tracksmith. I like the materials, a lot of, especially their winter stuff. Just because it doesn't get insanely cold in Atlanta, but so you don't have to completely bundle up. So a lot of their merino stuff is really nice. But it's funny because when I go to if I go to Miami, no one wears Tracksmith. Everyone's like, oh, Tracksmith, that's like dad brand. And then Atlanta, Atlanta is obviously like, it's kind of its own, it's just a very different city than every other major city in America. And so I feel like no rules of like brand stigma apply here.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people like wear Tracksmith in Atlanta, and it doesn't have that dad brand vibe at all. And you will literally see people who like are wearing Satisfy and Tracksmith, or you see someone wearing like Tracksmith and I don't know, some other kind of like more punk-ish brand. But then when you go to New York, it's very much like people are either Tracksmith people or Bandit people. And it's just, there's not a lot of,
right. There's like a lot of brand allegiance, but it's like, I feel like with new runners, like you buy all your kit at once.
Yeah.
And so like, like similar thing with I did cycling, I was like, I need stuff. And so like, I have like my cheap stuff that I got like initially, and then I have the stuff where I'm like, okay, I want some real things.
Yeah.
And then now I just like don't want anything. So I'm like, I have team kit like now, and I'm like, I don't need any stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like all dripped out in like one brand. I will feel very silly.
Yeah.
So you mix match.
I don't know.
Will you mix match brands?
Yeah, as long as the colors work.
Okay.
Like a lot of them do, because like everyone went like real pastel or whatever. I wear a lot of like pedaled, like they're technically Celia Italia, but like I feel like they were a Japanese brand.
Yeah.
And so their stuff, it's pretty small, and that's great for me.
Huh.
It's like I'm a true small in pedaled, but like in map, I'm an extra small.
Yeah.
I tried getting a small, and I'm like, why is this long sleeve loose on me? I was like, yikes. I was like, either I need to put on some weight or I need to like get an extra small.
Yeah.
That is the good thing about Pas Normal, is that their stuff does run smaller.
Very.
So it's like, yeah, when there's like really tiny, because I feel bad. Like one of my friends, she's a tiny human, and she's like, I can't wear any kits, and I'm like, well, Pas Normal extra small will like maybe fit you your child.
Yeah, it's like
size.
Get something on AliExpress, like and get it Asian sized, and then you're good.
Exactly. There was a point where we were trying to like make our own kits just to see, and so we had reached out to a couple factories in China. This was actually a long time ago. This was probably like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Before it became like a popular thing to just all of a sudden have your own brand. And the size, we ended up not doing it because the sizing was so confusing, trying to translate like the Asian typical sizing to what Americans would have. Like it was just overwhelming. It must be easier
We
now.
gave up.
We just gave up because I was like, these are miniature clothing. Like everything they were sending me as samples. And I'm not like a big person, but I'm like, I can't even get this over my arm. This is crazy.
You're like, yeah, I got a small. And they're like, this is a small and it's actually a double XS.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's like it's like two full sizes off, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
crazy.
doing that, people have asked like, oh, do you want to do like a running, like, do you ever want to do apparel or like, I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that. I'm like, have you ever done a tech pack? And they're like, a what? And I'm like, I'm like, that's what you need to be able to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you're no better than anyone else. It's just like logo slapping. Like,
Exactly.
Exactly.
AliExpress blanks.
I'm hoping next year, because I think what Bandit is doing has been really cool with some of their winter stuff, like with the hand warmers inside the long sleeves.
Yeah, a lot of details.
Yeah, a lot of details. And I'm kind of like, one of my running predictions podcast is going to come out tomorrow. But one of my predictions was that I'm hoping it inspires other brands to start actually innovating in a way that they can kind of like force the other brands to not just be logo slapping anymore, because people are going to be looking only to brands that are actually being innovative or have patented kind of technology in their running gear. I'm hoping that's the way it's going to go, but I'm curious about your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's like, I think the problem is like Bandit can innovate because they have, I don't know, 20 or $30 million from A-Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As of late, and they have a great like, and they use the money before to hire a great designer art. That's awesome. And like, is constantly working on like the next season's line and is like doing really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like not everyone has that. Like Oiselle right now, like they only recently got a designer. They're like a big women's brand.
Yeah.
Or not really a big one. Like women's brand. I'm excited to see where they go once they get a designer and like can focus on that.
Yeah.
But their whole thing is like they're the only running brand that makes like bra sizing sports bras as opposed to like small, medium, large.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was shocking to me that no one like that's a true running brand. Like I'm sure other brands do it that are sports bra brand or like bra brands, but like no running brand does that. And I'm like, hopefully that pushes, like if they get a little bit bigger, that pushes the market. I think a lot of people are going to copy off Bandit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like more increasingly so. And then I think for the other stuff, like if it's a logo slap or whatever, it's like if it's merch for your club or like merch for like your Instagram page or whatever, where like you're building a brand, that's fine. Where like it starts to bug me is when you're like trying to say that you're like innovating all these things. And like, I'm like, you're just picking out fabrics and putting your logo on it and like doing a cool design. Like that's fine. But like to compare this to like, I don't know, like what Bandit's doing or what Traxxon's doing is like not really fair.
I agree.
I hope that we can raise like the shopping intelligence or like the brand intelligence for people so they're a little more critical when they see something. They're like, oh, that looks cool, but is it good?
Exactly.
And like, if you just want it because it looks cool and it's a t-shirt, like that's fine.
Well, you can raise that intelligence by subscribing to Running Supply, right?
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, sign up for Running Supply. Just like be, know that it's easy to make this stuff now. And it's like, be critical. Like, I think people smelled that out in streetwear, like very quickly.
Yeah.
But like people are really skeptical in streetwear, and like people in running are pretty they're pretty trustful, maybe even gullible, and like don't have a lot of like online literacy or like less so than like people that were in streetwear that were really dialed in. They're like, oh, this is a grift.
Yeah.
Like immediately they're like, oh, this is, even if they still buy it, like a lot of the merch and stuff like that from like Travis Scott, for instance, you're like, this stuff is bad.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like really on it for so long.
Yeah, I feel like
everyone's like now they realize it's cash grab.
I feel like the runners, it's so interesting because again, I rode bikes for like the past 10 years, and then I within the past couple years just started Chad got
She did the opposite of you.
Yeah, I did the opposite. I kind of got burnt out and had a few too many concussions from cycling. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna run for a little bit, and now I run a lot more than I actually ride. But it's funny because coming from the cycling world to the running world, I compare everything, and it's almost like runners, and I don't want to say this in a condescending way because it's not. They're like the baby buyers of like sportwear, and so it's the not uneducated from like
baby buyers.
Yeah, like they're like a new buyer in this world. So it's like whereas cycling, kind of like if you really get into cycling within a year, you become hyper obsessed with learning everything you can about the brands you're going to consume.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't see that with running as much. People are kind of content with like, oh, I'm fine just like being this I'll say new buyer instead of baby buyer, but this mentality of like, I just pick up whatever glasses are like at the gas station and I'm fine with
I
that.
think it's a good read. And like this, it's because like the stuff isn't as expensive and there's like not, it's less technical. I would say like some of the technical stuff is like, it's so aero or like fit really matters. And like you're on the bike for 3 hours, like your chamois better like fit right.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're really uncomfortable versus like, if you're going out for like a 4 or 5 mile run and you're just like wearing a pair of shorts from Target, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
Like we're getting stuff now where you're just like, we're getting this because we want to have it because it's nicer, not because it's needed at all. And I think that only falls apart at like the like marathon and ultra distance where like then people do care, especially for the shoes and stuff like that. Or like getting a half tights or whatever that like don't chafe and like have enough pockets for your gels. But like that's the barrier. It's like it's a lot lower for like what you actually need versus what is just like nicer. And you could say the same thing for cycling too. Like, yes, you could just ride a steel bike and like, you know, whatever bike shorts. But like if you actually want to be fast, you have to do a little research.
Exactly.
For sure.
And I think the community is smaller too. Like I feel like people would be pretty quick. You know, there's like the rules of cycling. I don't know if you guys have like seen that old blog post or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. That doesn't exist for running.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Right? Like no one's written that, and I don't know if anyone can. Like I won't.
Yeah.
No, I think
I would write it under an alias maybe.
I would say it's like a trap if you write
it. Yeah, it's like it's a trap now. Like that came out a long time ago where like now you can look at, I don't know what that guy's doing. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah.
But like you read through it and you're like, some of this is inappropriate, but like a lot of it's right.
Yeah.
And like still very much observed and like exists. And it's crazy how much longevity that has had. And like that exists, but to much less of a degree for running.
Yeah, I mean, it was capturing kind of like cultural norms that have existed for a long time. And one guy took them and put them all in. He actually, I have the book.
Yeah.
But a lot of it doesn't apply anymore. I
haven't read it in so long.
Yeah, like white shoes, white socks is the standard now. Like I think in his book, it's like black shoes, black socks, because that's what Lance was.
I think it was still, or at least I saw a blog post that maybe it was an updated one because it was white shoes.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that one had white shoes on it, and I was like, I initially got black shoes, and I like showed up my ride. My friend was like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
I did the same thing. My first, because I'm like, well, I don't want to get white shoes because they're gonna get dirty. It felt logical, and then I was like, oh no, okay, this isn't cool.
I was the same way. I was like, I don't want to get white shoes because they're gonna get dirty, and it's like for running, it's like fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sweet, these are torched, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like for cycling, I do care how I look, and that's the other thing is like way more people care about how they look while biking.
Definitely.
That like I had never cared about how I looked while running beyond like having body dysmorphia. Like it was never about the kit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, do I look skinny enough to be running right now?
Yes, like in high school I was just like I was running in basketball shorts.
Yeah.
But I was like, all these kids look way skinnier than me. Huge problem. Like, and like now it's like, oh, everyone's trying to look cool out on their run, and like when they're going out to be seen, it's like, I don't know, if I'm just going around the neighborhood, I actually don't want people to see me, and I'm gonna wear a hoodie.
So there's no white shoe, white sock standard in running like that, something like that right now.
Definitely not. No. I think the equivalent would be like, have the right tool for the job though. But I think that applies for anything, like showing up to a cafe ride with a TT bike, you look silly. And that's kind of like how you look like showing up to like a, your casual run club in a pair of like Vaporflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fine. And I think when people do that and like, they don't know any better, that's just like a failing of the running industry and their friends. So like, it's ultimately also bad for you.
Yeah. 100%.
Like someone should have told you to like get the right shoe, even if you insisted on getting these racing shoes because you wanted to feel fast. I'm like, someone failed you there. Like the industry failed to educate you on like what you were buying.
It's so true.
They didn't go to a run store and do that.
Yeah, it's
like
so
there's
true.
no way they walked into a run specialty store and they were like, yep, you can buy these. They sell them online.
My first or not my first race, but when I decided I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break from cycling and start running, I signed up for just like a half marathon, and my first pair of shoes were the Vaporflies, because I was like, oh, I'm reading all of this and this is the fastest shoe, and like when you think of the cycling brain, you're like, I want the fastest thing, and oh, it's not that expensive compared to what I have to pay for biking. But I messed my hip up so bad because I just wasn't.
It moves the
I wasn't ready for like that. I mean, now it's not a big deal because I've been running long enough and longer that doesn't impact me the same way. But I'm like mad that no one really said anything because it was, I mean, everyone had them. It was
Yeah.
like the boom of the
The
bright
pink.
the bright pink Vaporflies
Yeah.
that
The bright pink Vaporfly.
Yes.
Iconic.
Yeah.
One of the best shoes. I hope you still have them and didn't throw them out.
No,
Those
I
are-
still have
those
them.
are
She's got 'em.
museum piece.
Yeah.
Don't wear them anymore, but like
Yeah.
museum piece.
But I'm like,
Like,
man,
I keep a lot of my old racing shoes.
I know, I'm like, someone
Yeah,
should
it's
have
like that's a
told me.
good point too, because the thing with the plated shoes and stuff like that, and like the higher stack, is that it moves. The forces don't change, but like it does move them around, and like they've noticed an uptick in hip injuries as opposed to like foot, ankle, and like Achilles stuff. Like a lot more of that has popped up. Because like the Achilles stuff was more of an issue when you had the lower stack shoes and no plate, because you're using exclusively your Achilles tendon to like load that force. And now you're using a little bit more of like the entire leg.
Yeah.
And so it was moving a lot of injury. It was exposing a lot of like hip instability.
100%.
I think it's like it definitely contributed to my injury was from skiing, but like it definitely got worse from running on it in plated shoes.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things where, and now I'm terrified. I mean, I run pretty much only in Sauconys. Like even my trail shoes are Saucony, and I need to branch out because I know that there's obviously so many great brands. But now I'm terrified because of that one experience that I'm like, oh my God, am I going to find some random injury from like running a mile in some shoe that...
It's like switching saddles.
I know, it's terrifying. And like I'm so...
It is like switching saddles.
I'm so
It's
jealous
like
of
adjusting
people. I'm so jealous of people who like my friend Tunde, he literally shows up to run club in like a different shoe every single time I see him. And I'm like, have you never been injured? He's like, no, I've literally never been injured ever. I'm like, I think you just have amazing genetics to never be injured and always run in a different shoe, but I'm very jealous of it.
It's like there's something to be said about like cycling through your shoes so that you don't like get the overuse injury.
Yeah.
Like if you're injury prone and you're not doing enough to get an overuse injury, then I would run in the same shoe. But that I mean, like if you're not running like 60 or 70 miles a week, like you probably should run in the same one until you get the strength to like get an overuse injury and then maybe move it around, because like whatever instabilities you have like won't be as obvious. Versus like unfortunately like cycling, it just like it's not the same. Like I like adjusting. I get a lot of flack for like adjusting my seat position a lot and just like the height of my saddle, and that will mess you up so quickly. I've had to be wrong like a little bit on a ride, and just really afterwards was so sad.
Yeah.
I haven't adjusted my saddle height in 15 years.
Perfect.
But
like, whatever.
Michael Garrison's the opposite.
Every ride he adjusts
his saddle height.
Yeah, I guess if you have like, he probably has a great feel for it though, and like the same way I know what feels right when I'm running. And so I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, if you're a little bit tighter or looser one day, like your leg length might be different, and then you do need to adjust your saddle height. But like he would be able to feel it out versus like, I don't know what is right.
Yeah.
I just have like what my bike fitter did, and then I dropped it an inch because I didn't feel like I was getting as much power.
Yeah.
I mean, that a lot of times fitters aren't taking that into consideration, like how you get the power, because everyone gets power from different muscles when they're riding. So yeah, you got to dial it in yourself, I think.
I agree too. I mean, I feel like I adjusted my saddle so much when I first started riding. Now I feel like but even like with running now, other like things are tighter than they were before. So now I feel like I have to readjust. Like if I go on a run and then I ride the next day, it's going to be different than if I just rode all week.
Yeah.
So
definitely,
it's just like a constant evolution of testing things.
Do you want to share some of your predictions, because this has come out after your newsletter will go out? Is there something we can talk through?
Yes, like I think we're gonna see. I'm hoping for, but like I think we will see more cycling overlap with running.
How so?
And that's gonna come from like just people doing both.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of these new runners are going to get hurt and realize that cycling is also cool, and they have a lot of expendable income. I just watched a Matt Choi video where he went to the Trek store. So like, you know, the end is nigh. I think we'll see also more cycling apparel and materials translate into running. I just saw Tabasuki. I don't know the last name of it. It's this Japanese brand, but like they used a like Italian material that's used on like a lot of the thermal map jerseys and stuff like that, like on one of their they made like a track jacket out of that, which
Huh.
I think will be kind of heavy, but is cool. Like kind of durable DWR outer, and then like that fleeced soft inside.
Yeah.
That are like on the third. You guys don't have to wear those as often, but like I wear them a lot,
Yeah.
and I was excited. I think that's one of them. I think we're gonna see some more like $150, $160 super trainers. Like right now, I think the price point for like a non-plated fast shoe is $200, and I think that's gonna come down. Um, what I would like to see is more shoes care about durability. So like a lot of those 160 and $200 shoes are great for like 300 miles or 200 miles. Like back in high school, I was putting 500, 600 miles on a pair of shoes, and like you just can't do that anymore because the foams. But they can innovate on they were so focused on making the foam technology faster, but like they were not worried about durability because like the consumer wasn't. And I think some brands are starting to care about that. Mountain Coast put out a shoe that like just feels good for way longer. They use this closed cell foam. It lasts about twice as long as like the average super shoe. And there's still feels super springy, but like it lasts longer. And I'm like, great, this shoe's 160 and it's lasting twice as long. Like I'm gonna buy this.
Yeah,
Like, why would
definitely.
I bother? I don't need to like burn through 8 pairs of Evo SLs. But I think the Evo SL space, like that bracket, is going to get disrupted by other brands. Like they need to respond, I think, in general. So that's more of like a business prediction. I think we're going to see some of the racers get lighter. Again, focused on speed and stack, like in the same way cycling was so focused on like aero.
Yeah.
Like now we're seeing the aero bikes get a lot lighter.
Yep.
Except for the new factor, that thing's like,
yeah, it's heavy.
Seems like a really aero cement truck.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see a lot more of the shoes get lighter now that they've achieved the right foam compounds. They're going to see like where they can shave weight, because that does make a big difference. Like you don't want to sacrifice energy return for that. Yeah, those are a few of them.
Does aero matter in running?
Not at all.
No.
Not
like
at all.
like when I watch,
they've like tried, but like it doesn't.
It doesn't, because like I watched like Courtney Dahlwater, is that her name?
Yeah.
Run the marathon in her baggy clothes, and to me, I was just like, that can't be like efficient. Like my cycling brain is just like, it has to be more aero than that. No,
it's a little less, but it's so unless it's like really windy out, and then definitely running behind people, like there's that factor. But beyond that, like running on the track, Nike experimented with some stuff. They had like a breaking 4 thing, and it just like it was like point something percent, not like 20%.
yeah,
that was like a big change for my brain when I was like so concerned about like power and fitness to care about aero.
yeah,
Like I just like wanted, like with cycling, I'm just fitter than these people and I should be able to like ride away from them. And you just can't, like, unless you're really, really, really good.
Yeah.
You cannot. And like I have friends that are like 70 pounds heavier than me. And I'm like, I should be able to ride away from him. Like I'm way faster. And no, I'm getting dropped. Like I can't even stay in his draft.
yeah.
Like this is irrelevant because it's just like not hilly around here, except for a really steep climb in Vermont.
No, it is a lot of like cycling is being smart, like it's riding smart, and a lot of riding smart is being as in the most aero place that you can possibly be, whether it's in
like
a group.
Aero positioning. Like, yeah, and like being smart about like energy expenditure, and like that just doesn't. You can be dumber about energy expenditure in cycling, I will say, than you can with running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like running is like if you put in a burst, like you're pretty cooked.
Exactly.
It's really hard to come back from that. Versus like cycling, I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm going to die. And then like 3 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I know. It feels like, because like you can go on an easy ride where you're like, oh, this is I feel like even recovery runs, I'm like, is it really it's not really like a recovery run, because you're still running and your it's hard to keep your heart rate super, super low at a certain point. Obviously, insanely fit people can do it, but cycling, it's actually easier to recover and do recovery rides. And like to your point, you could put out a massive effort in a group ride. The group surges, you go, you make it up the climb, you go over the top, and then you have like a 2-minute recovery in the pack. You just don't.
Like our Monday ride like has 2 different sprints in it.
Yeah.
And it's like our Monday recovery ride. Like we go like 18 miles an hour, but like we do have 2 different town lines that we do sprint for.
I'm hoping that more of these like running races and bike races come together, because how cool would it be to like go to Chicago for the marathon, but like then I mean Nike did that, you know, the race 2 nights before the marathon running race, but how cool would it be if there was like a crit race the day before the marathon or 2 days before the marathon?
I would love that.
People could have
it would
like
scare my mom.
Yeah, but people could have like access to see into just like completely different sports, and same with the gravel side. And I think there are some gravel races trying to add running like
Vermont
trail
Overland.
races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has like a gravel race and a like run, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
But it's like almost even mountain bikey, I think.
I gave Nikki as a Christmas gift. I registered her for UTMB Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Like as a surprise.
Fun.
I'm so excited.
I know you're Saucony trail shoes, but is there anything you want to hear from Cole about what you should consider?
Yeah.
As you get more into like UTMB trail races.
Yeah, I'm curious about your thoughts because, and obviously all these races are so different, so I need to look at like the technical side of what the race actually is, because I haven't even, honestly, it's only like 5,000 feet of climbing over the 37K and I think 6,000 over the 50K.
Okay.
So that's not terrible, and it's at sea level. So I'm hoping it'll be a mixture of kind of gravelly stuff, but I need to look.
Yeah, it's like depending on the footing, like with that distance, you can kind of wear anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Especially with that much climbing, like it's not like so much climbing where it's going to be like hours and hours and hours for you. I would pitch the H1. That thing feels good and it's like not expensive. So it's not like, oh, like I'm risking it all on this shoe. I'm like, it's $160.
Yeah.
Like, you could buy it to try it out and like
H1?
give it to a friend if you don't like it.
Yeah.
The Mountain Coast H1.
Oh, Mountain Coast. Okay.
They're actually, they're branded out of Hong Kong. Very few people know that. Chinese brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like their marketing is like sports marketing is like very Western.
Yeah.
That's my shoe of the year.
Really? Okay. Okay.
It's like, it's durable. It's not expensive. They're good details.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. But like the combination of all those things, like, is it the sexiest shoe? No. Is it the fastest one? No. But it's like really good at that price. Like there's no one else beating it at that price point. And like, I would never tell you to go run like that race in like the Adidas Evo SL like trail version.
Yeah.
Like I just don't, that's not trail ready. It's maybe gravel ready. The H1's a better shoe, and I think like will last longer, especially for like a marathon. I think that's the other trend is like running tourism. I know they've like talked about it a lot, but like I think that will take off over the next 5 years.
Yeah,
as well as like people are like, okay, I've done my local races now, and like now I want a destination race, and like marathons are pretty hard to get into, like the major ones. So I think hopefully people will either explore locally or like find less expensive ones in like an interesting area that's not, Copenhagen or New York or London or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's something cyclists been doing for a long time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Destination. Do you think trail running will continue the upward trajectory that it's been on?
Yeah, it's so accessible for people, and like it's less about speed, and so I think that's a lot more relatable. Like I think it's like less intimidating to be like, oh yeah, cool. Like if I'm coming back to running, or if I'm like, a lot of the times over the summer, I'd like want to do some racing or some like long runs, but like wasn't ready to really like, if I show up on the roads, I got to be ready. Like I show up to a trail race, like no one's watching it.
Yeah.
I can kind of like sneak by. It's like, I don't know if there's that equivalent for cycling really, where it's like, oh, I'll do like a cyclocross race or like a gravel race, just because like I want something where like it's not really my thing. If you're like a crit dog or like a road racer.
Yeah.
So you can do something that's like kind of low stress.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, because it's about like just doing the thing, and there's like an exciting surroundings. Like running CIM is not exciting. Like running Chicago is exciting because of the crowds.
Yeah.
But like if I run my local marathon in Buffalo, like I'm running there to like win.
Yeah.
Not like to enjoy the city.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot to see.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the trail races are beautiful, and so like that's its own experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you
what
talk about that all the time.
That's why I struggle with. Like I love running on the road because in Atlanta we don't have a lot of trails super close to us that are long enough to actually get like a decent workout without just doing laps. And everyone here is such a roadie, like a running roadie. But I did Chicago in October. Was it October? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like train for it like forever, and you don't do anything else, and your goal is to not get injured. And then I get COVID like the week before, and I'm just like, so all of this and I still did it, but it sucked. And I was just
But
like,
you didn't feel good.
no,
Yeah.
I felt terrible.
God.
And I was just like, okay, I'm not sure if this like marathon thing is for me because I like whereas trail running, you can kind of do like there's just so many 10Ks then but you can also do like a 30K and not even I mean you need to train for it, but you can kind of carry some fitness into the between the power hiking and the running, whatever. You can get away with it and it's a lot less stressful from like a I signed up for this thing. I just spent the last 6 months of my life training and now I get sick and can't even do it.
Got my power hiker hat
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's definitely more accessible and less stressful from that perspective.
Well, I think you come from a cycling background where you would do 20, 30 races a year.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you don't do anything, just focus on one race.
Yeah.
So I think that for runners, that's a thing that they've got to think through.
Been an unfortunate trend for running, even at like the collegiate level, like at the high school level now too. Like as it gets more competitive, like you're just not racing as much, and like pros don't race as much. And I think that's like part of the issue with like the sport at the pro level. Is like with cycling pros, you can see them frequently.
Yeah.
They're in the results a lot. Like you're seeing their face a lot. With pros, like I don't know, Galen Rupp was like a guy I followed when I was in high school, and like you'd see him a couple times a year. And like once he moved to the marathon, increasingly less so. Because like on the track, you can do a mile or a 5K or 3K and like race indoors. But, like a lot of people now are like skipping indoors and like not doing indoor worlds. So like you don't know what's going on with them, and you can't follow their story through the whole year.
Yeah. So why is that the trend? Why are they racing less?
Like we know you perform better
Yeah.
racing less, and like if everyone's chasing times as opposed to like trying to win races, it's more about it's about racing less and like performing at a high level. And I think for the regular audience, my hope for a trend for next year is that like fewer people run marathons. I don't think everyone needs to be running a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run
I agree.
a 5K.
I agree.
Try to run fast. It's a way bigger predictor of like your health long term is like your ability to run like a fast 5K or a mile. Like if you can run a sub 3 marathon, like you're probably in good shape. But if you can run like a sub 17 5K, like you're in really, really good shape.
Yeah.
And, like that's a good longevity indicator. But like you can run more 5Ks. You can run a 5K once a month. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like I did it in high school. I ran a few like a month.
Yeah.
Like marathons, it just takes so much out of you, and you do like one a year, and it's a bummer because like if you miss, like if you swing and miss, that's your one swing for like 6 months.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think like the downside of that is like you put so much into it, and then really it's about the process, but it's really hard when you show up in the day and like you don't get to like cash in on anything, even just the experience.
Exactly.
And that's really a bummer. And I think for like new runners, that'd be like my like word of wisdom is like you're there for the experience. Like do some 5Ks, so you can get that, even though it's like less of a buildup. Like you can still make it a thing. And I think like if something goes wrong in the marathon, which frequently it does, especially your first one, like it's sad to get there and like, hey, I put all this hard work in, like now I'm disappointed because I didn't get to run the race.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, because like I feel like there's all this pressure to do a marathon. Like, and I heard some other like runner that I follow on Instagram, and she was talking about it too. She's like, I feel all this pressure to like have to run a marathon. She's like, and I've always just been a 10K like a fast 10K person, and I really like that. And now I feel this pressure to all of a sudden sign up for a marathon. And I hope I agree with you. Like, I hope that people start signing up for things that they can actually race. And even if you're not like racing, but maybe you're just trying to like do really well in your age group. Like you're not going to win the thing, but maybe that's something. I think that is I don't know. I get a lot out of like, I'd rather do a 10 miler and do really well and get like 15th in my age group or 10th in my age group than do another marathon again where I'm just like, I am barely hanging on and all I'm doing is praying that my hip doesn't fall apart, and whereas the shorter distances, you just don't have that fear. So you're like, oh, I can actually push myself. And it's not this
you can
like,
strike while the iron's hot
Yeah.
in the shorter distances. You can be like, I'm fit, I need to find a race now.
Yeah,
And, like that was
exactly.
something I frequently did for track. But like you can't really do that for the marathon because
Yeah.
it's not like you can get into one tomorrow. And like I've had friends do it, and like you got to get pretty lucky
Yeah.
in order to like find one that's like a fast course and like yada yada. Even when you're fit, like I had a friend that was like, I'm ready, and like she drove herself out to the Midwest, like drove herself 14 hours herself,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
raced the next morning and ran her like OTQ. She's a freak, so like she can do that. But like for most mortals, like you can't do that, and you have to sign up 6 months, a year in advance for your like dream race.
It's so
And you're
true.
like, okay, I hope everything comes together.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's stressful to like put all that in, and then you're
Yeah.
just like, maybe the wheels will come off, maybe they won't, because you just don't have that with cycle. Like you might have a bad day on the bike, and maybe you're in a road race, and so but you're with your team. So like if you don't feel great, okay, you just work for someone else, and it's still a good
Yeah,
day.
that's cool to do. Like, because I've run out of my mind like running for someone else. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to pull yourself out of burnout. Like with running,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I was just like pacing a women's college team,
Yeah.
and like that was the most joy I felt running in a long time because I was just like, you had such a good workout. Like I don't care how I feel, and like eventually I got fit. Like off of doing that and like found love for the sport again. But
Yeah.
it's like cool to be able, you can't really do that quite as much with running, but you could like pace someone's race.
Yeah.
Like that's great. And like you see how happy they are and like that's a win.
Exactly.
You're preaching to the choir because she's been saying I'm done with the marathons.
No, I'm not doing another.
I'm going back to half marathons and
Everyone's
10Ks.
like, all my friends I run with, they're like, oh, you're just saying that you're gonna feel differently next year. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like I really, again, I love running and I love long trail races because I just like being out in nature, kind of like alone. But
Yes.
and like that's just what I enjoy. But I'm like, I really did not enjoy like I enjoyed the marathon like people and like we did like the Bandit Shakeout run and that was really cool. Seeing how much they've grown from just like a few years ago when they were there.
From a sock company.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool to like take that all in. But from an actual race perspective, I was like, I was really miserable the whole time. And I don't like, I want to be miserable because I'm suffering, not because I'm just like trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know, on the trail, I can kind of keep it at like a high level of suffering without falling apart, unless you like literally break your ankle or something. But
Yeah.
I think, well, so you got to stay on your feet
yeah.
and like watch out. So like you have to slow yourself down a little bit more. Whereas like you don't have to do that on the roads. Like you can really get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome. Anything we can answer from you're curious about?
Yeah. How much is the like? Well, I mean, this is more curiosity. Like,
Yeah.
how much the Atlanta Track Club's like pretty big and like a super competitive. Like, they have a pro team. Like, how much does that have an impact on the running, like the local running scene?
They're huge impact. Like well, the professional team I wouldn't say has a huge impact.
No.
If that's what you're asking, but because most people don't know who they are. You don't even really see them out running in the
They're not.
community.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I'm hoping maybe next year. I do feel like they're trying to change that a little bit. But from a club perspective, I mean, they put on every single race in Atlanta, so huge influence. They're a massive organization, have tons of people working for them. But Atlanta Run Club, which is a different run club, they're not like a official business, but that's who I started running with, and they've kind of took things in the opposite direction, which is like more kind of spontaneous activations. And I think they had a bigger impact on the running community than, I don't want to say like Atlanta Track Club or more impact than Atlanta Track Club, but Atlanta Track Club is very traditional. And then when Atlanta Run Club kind of came into the picture in 2018 through really 2020, it just, like the running scene just boomed in Atlanta. And now you have tons of different run clubs, but I would actually attribute the boom of running more to Atlanta Run Club than Atlanta Track Club.
No, I was going to say Atlanta Track Club's always been there.
Yeah.
But the boom that we've seen, like we live in the city, and we live on this thing called the Beltline, which is like a giant sidewalk that goes through the city, and it's like where everyone runs. Now, like before 2020, you didn't see these big clubs.
No.
But even though Atlanta Track Club has such a presence because they put on all the races, since then, since 2020, you have just massive groups, like hundreds of people gather every day, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the Beltline to run. So it's kind of crazy.
I was like, I'll have to come down and run Atlanta.
It's so
sometime.
fun. And
It's
like, it's one of them. I mean, it's the most diverse running city that like I've ever been to from a run club perspective. There's just a run club for everyone, but also everyone can go to all the run clubs. So it doesn't feel cliquey. Like you can
nice.
kind of like go, you don't have to like go to just one run club. You can kind of just go to everything. And so I feel like it's a very supportive community. And the good thing about that is it's pushed, Atlanta Run Club has, I think, pushed Atlanta Track Club to be more accessible to everyone in the city.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And so I think that is like a continuous thing where you just start seeing like people who never thought that they were a runner and now they're, doing team and training and they're really, or their Atlanta Run Club has race camp and they've never even done a 5K and like they're just trying to get them to their first 5K and then they try to graduate them to the 10K and then the half marathon. And so there's a lot of like really, really good grassroots work being done by people who they're not even getting paid to do. Like my friend Tunde doesn't even get paid to be a coach, with
For
Atlanta
the
Run
love of
Club.
the game.
He just does it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like that in Atlanta. So to see the selflessness of the community is something I haven't seen in a lot of other running communities around the country.
Yeah.
So I come run with us because it's really awesome in Atlanta.
That's cool because I was gonna say, like, I feel like, you know, the bones, like the infrastructure is clearly created by like Atlanta Track Club. Like, you couldn't have, if Atlanta Track Club collapsed and there was nothing there, I think it'd be like hard for Atlanta Run Club to like
100%.
be as effective as it is. But like, they
100%.
have that backbone, and like, yes, like they'll make some moves or whatever. But like, I think they still need to exist the way they do in order for like Atlanta Run Club to be, you know, kind of a feeder for it or something like that. Or,
100%.
even if it's not a feeder. But like, yeah, that's interesting. See, we don't have that. It's always interesting hearing the running like culture in other cities. Like, Boston does not have that. We don't have really any like huge run clubs. I have like a Friday one I'll occasionally go to. It's more of like a coffee run. We go like 4 miles, and it's like maybe 50 people, like maybe 50 people, usually like closer to 25. And that's a good day. And like a few that my friends have that are like very casual, like maybe they're a couple hundred followers on Instagram. Like, again, you get like 12 people show up.
Yeah.
And then like the Tracksmith run, the Heartbreak runs, those are like local stores here. So Heartbreak has a running club, but they have three stores in Boston, like one in Chicago and stuff like that. Tracksmith obviously has its run clubs, which are like, or it's like run club meetups, which are free, and then a separate team. Heartbreak, separate team, and then also their like training / like club. Maybe a handful of other ones, but it's like pretty store and brand driven, which is kind of unfortunate. And there is no like giant run club. Like, there's BAA, but like that's a team you pay dues to go, and it's like it's not, there's less of like a community there, I would say, like, unless you're on the team, like, in which you have to pay to go to, and like it's a little more serious. It's like very team oriented here, which I think is a result of like the amount of colleges in the area.
Yeah.
So a lot of people come straight out of college and like they're looking for a competitive environment and like go and join teams. So our club scene for track clubs and like running fast is really good. But like, if you're just like a casual runner, I think it's like not quite as good. But again, you can just go to the Tracksmith run. Like 200 people will show up to the long run every Sunday. And like, you don't have to be wearing Tracksmith. No one cares. Like 90% of the people are not spending any money in the store there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Atlanta's definitely a run club city. It's
That's why they call it Run
It's a
City.
bigger city too.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Run City USA.
Yeah. And Atlanta, just like the vibe of Atlanta is always community.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's
Checks
hard.
out.
Yeah. It's just hard to explain. Like, if you don't live here, you can't, it's hard to like understand how much everything is just based around community and like being outside in big groups with each other, having fun. Like, it's just, that's just Atlanta. And you don't get that. Even in New York, it's really hard to find like a big run. I mean, they have big run clubs, but it's still.
Yeah, I mean, cycling, it's the same thing. Like yesterday, I did a group ride. We started with 100 people. There was a group that started an hour before us. They also had 100 people.
It's crazy.
It's like the group ride scene here. It's the same as
it's just the community.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. It's just the culture, I guess.
Well, it's like that in Miami too. I'm like, maybe it's just the good weather.
Maybe that's it. It's good weather. Sorry, sorry, you're in Boston.
I think that helps.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, we really appreciate
especially this time of year. And then also, if you think of, we want to have more like running related guests this year.
Yes.
Like, that's a big push for us. If you think of someone that you think would be interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Let us know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank
you so much for having me. Appreciate your time.
All right.
Sorry if I rattled on for too much.
No,
No,
you're
you're
good.
This is great.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right,
We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good week.